Lake Vermilion in Minnesota, USA, was locked under a ruthless winter. The entire lake looked like a giant sheet of glass, frozen solid and stretching endlessly beneath a pale white sky. The air was sharp enough to sting the skin, and the sunlight reflecting off the ice made everything look bright, yet lifeless and cold. Thomas Hale, a seasoned fisherman who had spent his whole life in the northern cold, stood alone on the frozen lake. Wearing a heavy winter coat and a fur-lined hat, he calmly drilled a hole through the thick ice and lowered his old fishing rod, one that had survived countless winters with him. Around him, there was nothing but silence. Only the wind howled faintly, and the mist from his breath rose into the air like smoke. At first, it felt like a normal fishing day, but that changed in an instant. As Thomas reeled his line back in, his eyes caught something unusual drifting among shattered ice near a cracked section. It was a gray-brown shape, floating unnaturally still in the freezing water. His first thought was simple: a dead animal, trapped by the cold and left behind by nature. Still, something about it felt wrong. Thomas walked closer, carefully stepping across the ice. Small cracks surrounded the area, warning him that the surface was unstable. He stretched out the tip of his fishing rod and gently nudged the floating body, and then it happened. The animal's chest moved, barely, but clearly. Thomas froze in shock. It wasn't dead. It was a North American mountain lion, half submerged in icy water, its fur soaked, clumped with snow, and stiff from freezing temperatures. The creature looked weak, exhausted, and close to its final breath. A wave of fear rushed through Thomas, not from the cold, but realizing what he was standing near. Without wasting time, Thomas pulled out his phone and called the local ranger station. The voice on the other end told him the truth. The rangers would need at least 2 hours to reach Lake Vermilion. Thomas stared at the mountain lion again. He knew in this freezing water, the animal wouldn't last that long. A battle began inside his mind. He remembered mountain lions from the deep forest, powerful, unpredictable predators. One wrong move could cost him his life, but walking away would haunt him forever. So, he made a choice. Thomas removed his coat and stepped into the icy water. The cold struck like knives. Ice fragments scraped his legs, and each step felt dangerous. Reaching the animal, he grabbed the stiff, wet fur and felt how weak its breathing had become. It was starving, drained, and nearly frozen solid. Using every bit of strength he had, Thomas lifted the heavy mountain lion onto his shoulder. Water dripped down his body as he fought his way back toward shore, carefully avoiding the cracked ice. His lungs burned from the cold and the weight. Finally, he reached land. Thomas dragged the animal onto the snow, then quickly dried himself and put his warm clothes back on. He used towels and blankets to dry the mountain lion and wrap it tightly, rubbing gently to help circulation. He stayed cautious, keeping distance, but never stopped helping. Minutes felt like hours. Then, the sound of engines broke the silence. 3 park rangers, Daniel Brooks, Emily Carter, and Michael Reed, arrived and rushed to the scene. They thanked Thomas, but warned him that such racks were extremely risky. Together, they placed the mountain lion on a stretcher. Emily checked its condition and confirmed severe hypothermia and exhaustion. Medication was carefully given to stabilize it. At the ranger station near Superior National Forest, the animal was placed in a heated enclosure with straw and blankets. Vets monitored it constantly. Hours later, it slowly opened its eyes. By morning, it was standing again. After a week of recovery, the mountain lion was ready. Thomas was invited to witness the release. Deep in the snowy forest, the cage door opened, and the mountain lion stepped out into the white sunlight. It paused, glanced toward the humans for a moment, then vanished into the trees. Thomas sat quietly, feeling relief fill his chest. He knew one brave decision had returned a wild life back to where it belonged.